Today, we're focusing on one of the most important waterways in the world, the Strait of Hormuz. While recent weeks have brought a fragile ceasefire between Iran, the United States, and Israel, the people who live and work along this narrow stretch of water are still dealing with the consequences of war. To understand why this region matters so much, we first need to understand its geography. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway connecting the Persian Gulf with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea. Every day, millions of barrels of oil and large quantities of natural gas pass through these waters. Nearly one-fifth of the world's oil trade depends on this route, making it one of the most strategically important shipping lanes on the planet. Because of this importance, any military tension in the area immediately attracts global attention. Even the possibility of disruptions can cause oil prices to rise, stock markets to react, and shipping companies to change their routes. During the recent conflict, the Strait of Hormuz became one of the main flashpoints. Military operations, missile attacks, and security concerns made commercial shipping increasingly risky. Several cargo vessels were delayed, while others were seized or prevented from continuing their journeys. Insurance costs for ships increased dramatically, and many companies chose to avoid the region whenever possible. The impact extended far beyond international trade. Along Iran's southern coastline, thousands of families depend on fishing for their livelihoods. As naval activity increased, many fishermen stopped going to sea because they feared becoming caught in the conflict. Those who continued fishing faced enormous risks, entering waters where military forces were operating only a short distance away. Now, after the ceasefire, signs of recovery are slowly appearing. Fishing boats are once again leaving the harbor before sunrise. Markets are becoming busy again as fresh seafood arrives each morning. Shop owners have reopened their businesses, and families are trying to return to normal life after months of uncertainty. Yet beneath this appearance of normality, the scars of war remain visible. Some neighborhoods still contain damaged buildings, while many families continue to mourn loved ones lost during the fighting. Others are struggling financially after losing jobs or seeing their businesses collapse during the conflict. The strait itself also reflects this uneasy calm. Cargo ships can once again be seen moving through the area, but not with complete confidence. Some vessels still wait offshore for permission to continue their journeys, while shipping companies remain cautious, knowing that political tensions could quickly escalate again. For governments around the world, the Strait of Hormuz is much more than a shipping lane. It represents economic security, energy supplies, and military influence. Iran has long viewed the strait as one of its strongest strategic advantages. Because such a large share of the world's energy passes through these waters, any threat to close or restrict access immediately becomes an issue of global concern. Meanwhile, the United States and its allies argue that freedom of navigation through international shipping lanes must be protected. This difference in perspective has made the Strait of Hormuz one of the world's most sensitive geopolitical locations for decades. History reminds us that this is not the first time the strait has been at the center of international tensions. From conflicts in the 1980s to more recent disputes involving oil tankers and military patrols, the region has repeatedly demonstrated how local events can have worldwide consequences. Despite these challenges, many ordinary people simply want stability. Fishermen hope for safe seas. Business owners want customers to return. Parents want their children to grow up without the fear of air raids or military conflict. Their priorities are not political, they are personal. Experts believe that the coming months will be critical. If diplomatic negotiations continue successfully, confidence in international shipping could gradually recover, helping stabilize energy markets and encouraging economic growth throughout the region. However, if negotiations fail and tensions increase once more, the Strait of Hormuz could again become the center of a major international crisis. For the rest of the world, the lessons are clear. A conflict taking place in one narrow waterway can influence fuel prices, transportation costs, food prices, and global trade. Events in the Strait of Hormuz remind us how closely connected today's world has become. As we watch developments unfold, one thing remains certain: lasting peace will benefit not only the countries directly involved but also millions of people whose daily lives depend on stable global trade and secure energy supplies.